Assalamu alaikum. This is Ghulam Abbas from MH Language Solutions. Well, here I am with another video today, and today we are going to talk about table chart in IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. This task is considered very complicated and very difficult by many students, and the most obvious reason behind this is this task. It involves so much data. There are so many figures, so many entities that you need to deal with in a limited span of time. In today's lecture, we'll try to learn how can you crack, how can you deal with this particular type of question, and how can you produce an appropriate response to this question type. So let's begin. In order to produce a good answer of this question type, you need to follow a certain structure. I'm going to discuss with you a 4-step structure. Let's try to understand this. The first step is to write the introduction. This is going to be the first paragraph of your answer. Then you need to write an overview. This is the second paragraph of your answer. Thirdly, you need to select the data that is most important, that is the crucial one, because there are going to be a lot of information in the diagram. You cannot write each and everything. So you have to be choosy, you need to be selective. Once you have selected the information, the last stage is to give the information a shape. Usually you can split the information in 2 parts. In the first part, you can keep the most important information. The information which is less important, you can write it for the second part. Most important information will make your main paragraph number 1, and the information that is relatively less important, you can write it in your main paragraph number 2. So in this way, you are going to have a 4-paragraph structure actually. The first paragraph is introduction, second one is your overview, the third one is main paragraph that consists of the most important information, and the last paragraph is going to be based on the information that is relatively less important. How to do that, we are going to understand this in the upcoming part of the video. To write the introduction, you just need to do one thing. Change the question in your own words and rewrite it. In other words, we say that to write the introduction of task 1 or introduction of this particular question type, you need to rephrase or you need to paraphrase the question. Try to change the vocabulary of the question. Try to change the grammatical structure of it. Don't try to give your opinion in the introduction of task 1, and don't try to explain anything. Just whatever you find in the question, try to write it in your own words and in your own grammar. If you change only 1 or 2 words and write the question in the same way as it has already been given, then you are not going to get good marks. So be careful about it. Writing overall means you need to present the bigger picture. What is happening in the diagram, just write it in 1 or 2 sentences and it will be your overall. To understand it, let's have a look at this picture. In this diagram, you can observe that all the countries, they are spending most on food, drink and tobacco. In this regard, the second priority is clothing and footwear, whereas leisure and education is the area where all the countries, they are spending least. You just need to mention the same in 1 or 2 sentences and this will become your overall. When it comes to writing the main paragraphs, the rule of the thumb is usually the most important information consists of the highest numbers. data or the figures which have more value, they are most important. But you should also be careful about the information that has least value, because this will help you to make comparisons and contrasts. Similarly, if you find something that is unique, that is not happening in the other parts of the chart, but it is happening only in the certain area or in certain part of the chart, this is also important, because you can highlight it or you can mention it separately. So this is how you should be selecting the most important or the crucial information for your main paragraphs. Let's try to understand this with the help of the chart in front of us. In this chart, you can easily witness that in the category of food, drink and tobacco, Turkey is the highest spender. Similarly, after Turkey, Ireland is also spending quite a significant number. And the least spender is Sweden here. So these three figures, they are very important here. Similarly, when we talk about clothing and footwear category, the highest spender here is Italy. But the country which is spending least is Sweden. On the other hand, when it comes to leisure and education, again Turkey takes the lead, and the highest figure is from Turkey here. And Spain is spending least when it comes to education. So this information is the most important information that you can use and that you can extract from this table chart. You don't need to mention or you don't need to talk about each and every figure that has been given in the chart. When it comes to writing the main paragraphs, different people, they write main paragraphs in different ways. Some people, they are making comparisons, some people they are making contrasts, they are choosing data in one way or they are using it in one way or another way. That is why writing is subjective, because people, they are writing it subjectively. They are writing it in their own way. Similarly, the example that we have just had in the previous part of the lecture, we can write our main paragraphs by using two different approaches. The first and second paragraph, they are usually same, because the first paragraph is introduction and second paragraph is overall. When it comes to the main paragraph, in the first approach, we can use the countries which are spending most and they can present it in the first main paragraph. And the countries which are spending least, they can be presented or we can write about them in the last paragraph or the second main paragraph. However, there is an other approach as well. In this approach, we are actually making a contrast between two different categories in our main paragraph number 1. We are taking the category of food, drink and tobacco, because this is the category where countries are spending most. And then we are taking the category of education, because the countries are spending least here. And then we make a contrast between them. The main paragraph is about contrast here. The last paragraph, it's about the second category, clothing and footwear. And we are making a separate paragraph for this category, and in this way again we are having a 4-paragraph structure. Dear students, in this video tutorial I tried to demonstrate how can you deal with table chart effectively, easily, and how can you produce your own answer by using the 4 steps that I have just mentioned. I have also given you the practical examples, I have shown you the model answers, and they are going to help you a lot if you focus on them carefully and you can write your own answer of this question type. That is all for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. Stay tuned for the upcoming videos. Allah Hafiz.